What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to High Crime, a show where I take an edible and get way too stoned and talk about a fucked up serial killer.
Turn the lights off, carry me on.
Today's a good one, and I say that every time, and I mean it, but today's a good one. And here's why. The killer, obviously. But I'm taking a sativa today, folks. I don't usually do sativa because my tiny little simple brain can't handle it. Why not? Everyone's in a good place right now. I'm in a great place. How about you? They are Plus, which I've taken before. Recommend. It's called Uplift. I'll just show you this amazing color. So vibrant, like a electric coral. I should be put down. All right. Okay, we'll see. I'll be back in an hour. Did I make a mistake? Okay. Peace out. I truly cannot tell if I'm high or not. Dost thou mean I am high? Shakespeare. Guys, this piece of shit is a piece of shit. I'm so fucking excited about this one. This is one of my all-time favorites to talk about. Today I'm going to be covering Israel Keys. Israel Keys was born into a fundamentalist Mormon family in Richmond, Utah in 1976? Sure. He had sisters named Sunshine and Hosanna and some else. So they were very religious. When he was little, he was obsessed with guns and stole guns from people. And he loved to hunt. What a shocker there. I feel like I'm being so sassy. His family later joined the Ark Church, which was basically a white supremacist church. Very racist, very anti-Semitic. Who doesn't hate the Jews, though? Everybody hates the Jews. It's old. Get over it. So someone later said that his mom would switch religions like she was playing musical chairs or something like that. That is not verbatim. Sativa is... So she was always looking for some type of higher power or guidance. So this church thought that Jews were not actually the chosen people, but white Europeans were. I guess by naming him Israel, they were trying to reclaim that country. So Israel lived all over the country. So his first crime was when he was living in Oregon. He raped a girl on the Deschutes River. What up, 541? She was tubing down the Deschutes River. That is something I did every summer in high school. Good. So he idolized Ted Bundy. Basic bitch. Try Kaczynski maybe, or Kemper. This is my hobby. This is what I love to do most in the world. I'm feeling very blessed right now. Drugs are good. Quote. Me. He was not like most serial killers in that he never really had a victim type. He would go more by places. So he had kill kits all across the United States. And basically they were buckets filled with everything he would need to murder someone. So like a gun or a knife, restraints, fucking good luck charms, and a fuck ton of cash. After every murder, he would rob a bank. So he had funds to fuel this fun little quirk of his. Just get a Patreon like the rest of us, asshole. So he would hide them in very specific places in the state, and he would memorize it exactly, and sometimes come back 2 years later to do the deed. So he had kill kits in Alaska, Wyoming, Arizona, New York, Texas. So he would just go to a specific city and see someone and be like, it's gotta be you. they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. To cover his tracks, he would fly to one state, rent a car, drive thousands of miles to get to another state, and do the murder there. So there was no record of him being anywhere near the crime scene on the date of his flight. So he was very skilled at being a serial killer, I guess. A+ in the serial killing game. For some reason, he would kill everyone, but not children or dogs. Well, you gotta draw a line somewhere. You know what I mean? It's called boundaries, people. Get a therapist. So he had some type of moral compass, I guess. I don't know, it was like a selective sociopath. Where was I? What is drugs? And he had a daughter of his own. So at some point, he moves to Anchorage, Alaska with his daughter. He leaves his daughter's mother to be with another woman, and he had a fairly successful construction business. So he, some suspect, has a body count of around like 35. He admits to 11. We won't probably ever find the bodies of his victims. So he was very good at this. He was just so patient and like meticulous. Some serial killers get sloppy and go nuts towards the end, and that's how they get caught. I watch Criminal Minds, okay?
You're still the one that I love.
So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. He only told detectives where like a handful were, and he confessed to a murder of another older couple. He saw that they didn't have kids anywhere in the house. He cuts the phone line to check if the alarm would be triggered. It wasn't. And he fucking murders them. I'm gonna be focusing on the murder of Stephanie Koenig, the most talked about one, and the most fucked up. So in Anchorage, Israel finds this like drive-through coffee place. It's like a little kiosk thing. And he, again, doesn't know who he's killing when he gets there. So he looked up which kiosk was open latest. He saw this one and he drove there, and you can see there's footage of this altercation. You see Stephanie take an order for someone. You don't see the person out there, but you see her inside. And she turns around to get something and turns back and puts her hands in the air. And she's like talking about something. You see something happening. And then you see all of a sudden a ski masked man enter through the window and then takes her out a door. He abducts her. At one point, when they were walking out of the kiosk, she tried to run for it. And unfortunately, he caught up to her and he was like, listen. I'm not going to murder you. I just want ransom money. She's like, my family doesn't have any money. And he's like, no. Shut up, you stupid baby. The community will come together and raise some money. So she was like, okay, fine. And he said as soon as she was convinced, he was like, sorry. Can you imagine? Oh, God, everything is a nightmare. And later that night, her boyfriend got a text from Stephanie's phone. It says like, hey, gonna go spend a few days with a friend. Don't worry about me. And her boyfriend's like, that doesn't sound anything like her. So he shows it to her dad, and dad's like, let's fucking call the cops. So they report her as a missing person. He brings her back to this shed, I guess, on his property. I'd like to lie down. He takes her bank card, right? Are you following? And he is like, give me your pen. And this is a very rushed telling of the events. There's more in there, but I'll just hit the sparse notes of this murder. So he confirmed that that was the correct pin. Then he was like, I'm done with her. So he goes back and then murders her. It's like, I'm so smart. I'm a genius. I wish other people could get on my level. This edible's making me a monster. Oh my god, I cannot stand to be around myself anymore. Keep it together, you stupid bitch. Okay. So, after he murders her, he fucks off to a cruise. So he leaves her body in the shed, but because it was in Alaska, it was fucking cold, so the body didn't really decompose all that much. So he comes back 2 weeks later. He goes to get supplies, comes back, sews open her eyelids to make it look like she was alive, puts some makeup on her, I think, cleans her up, takes a picture, sends it to her family, and says, look, I have your daughter, give me this money. She had been dead for 2 weeks when that picture was taken. That is foul. So there was this massive investigation, obviously. Where's my water? Oh my god. I'm fucking dying of thirst. I'm so glad I didn't take another. I'm back on track. Everything's going swimmingly. One of the detectives, they saw that Stephanie's card was charged somewhere in Arizona. So the Anchorage police were like, hey, Arizona, look out for this guy. We're looking for a white Ford Focus, I guess. And I think they knew his name. I don't know. What do you want from me? And so what happens after that? I don't fucking remember. And some like highway patrol cop hears this and is like, mental note, check. And he pulls over a white Ford Focus and he sees that it's Israel Keys and he's like, holy fucking shit. So Israel's arrested. He's brought in for questioning, and I have never been so frustrated with a human being as I was with him being interrogated. He was manipulating the entire investigation. So he always had the upper hand. Look, I do not claim to be an expert in any realm of this. I am not a detective. I never will be one. This is just what I think. The detectives who were interrogating him, I thought did a not good job. They basically were just like, please, we need to give us, like, we really need it. Like, come on, man, just... And he was like, I need this. He wanted them to promise in exchange for confessing these murders, giving them names of victims, that he'd be put to death within the year because he didn't want to live caged up. What the fuck was I? And he also didn't want it to get out to his daughter because he cared about what his daughter saw, what he did. He said, without me, you just have missing persons. You don't have murder victims. But he did hint at cities where there might be victims. So we'll never really know all of his victims. 8 months into his arrest, Israel Keys committed suicide in his cell. Some guard accidentally gave him a razor, and he left this like 4-page long suicide note, I guess. But it didn't say any names. It didn't show any remorse or saying sorry for what he's done. It was just kind of like a weird like tribute to murder. And I'm not going to read any of it because I don't think I physically can read right now. What a piece of shit coward. That makes me so fucking mad. I never really get squeamish consuming all of this stuff. I'm never really that affected. But when I was hearing him just nonchalantly talking about these horrific murders, I got so nauseous. Like, you hear about these things from other people, like on a true crime comedy podcast or by some high bitch, and you can kind of distance yourself a little bit. But you hear it from the person who did it in such an arrogant way. It made me so ill. He basically was just like this fucking new metal Blink-182 power douche. Had the fucking studded belt and the wristbands. I had all of that. I had the studded belt and the wristbands, okay? My next door neighbor, when I was 11, he had a crush on me and bought me a Playboy Bunny sweatband from Hot Topic. And we got in huge trouble. But his daughter is out there just having his last name. I think that's it. Yes, you guys, stop asking. I am blonde again. I think I did a fantastic job. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this. I love you. Say it back. If you'd like to hear about a serial killer, please give me a recommendation. I love hearing them so much. I love to know that there are people out there as sick as I am. You guys are my best friends. Please stay inside. Don't go to parties. It's not worth it. People are dying. Wear a fucking mask. Peace. Blessings unto your household. Bye, you guys. I love you.
Say so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home.